Hey everyone, how you doing? I'm back, and today I want to tell you the story of how I wrote a book when I was still in high school. It's written in German, but I'm still gonna link it down below just in case, but most of you won't be able to read it. But yeah, anyway, so I wrote this book when I was still in high school and I published it like 2 months after high school ended. It came out because it needed a lot of editing and stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna tell you the story of how I did it, and yeah, maybe that will motivate you to write your own book too. Okay, let's get started. So my whole writing career goes way back. So I've always been super interested in writing stories and in books and all of that. I've always been a very avid reader. Always. Since the second that I could read, I read a ton. And equally, I've always been very creative and I loved inventing my own stories. So I attempted to write my first book when I was 8 or 10, I think 8. It only had one chapter, then I got distracted by things, went to play with my friends or whatever. So yeah, but that's kind of how it started. So I've always wanted to write books. However, I have never seen it as a career. So for me, it was always oh, I want to write one book in my lifetime. But that's not a job. For me, authors, it's so weird, but for me, creative jobs were never an option. Never, ever, ever. So I always only thought about practical jobs, like becoming a princess. No, I'm just kidding. Becoming a doctor or a lawyer or horse psychologist, So practical things. Anyways, I had the first idea for this particular book when I was 14, and I wrote the first chapter on Wattpad. Yeah, that's it. Then I thought my writing was terrible. I stopped writing the story and just let it sit. And 2 years later, when I was doing my exchange year in Texas, I rediscovered it. I was logging into Wattpad because I had another Harry Potter phase or something, wanted to read some fan fiction, just stuff. I rediscovered the story. I had completely forgotten about it. I read it, and honestly, I really liked the 2 chapters, and I decided to finish writing it. So I wrote another 2 or 3 chapters. Then I thought my writing was terrible again. And also I was not even considering being a writer. I was no, I'm gonna be a lawyer. Yeah, I loved debate at that point. I still love debate, but it was different then. And for me, debate was everything. I wanted to be a lawyer. I wanted to do that for a living. I was really passionate about it. Then I had a phase where I really wanted to go to American colleges. I'm not just talking some colleges. I'm talking Harvard or Yale or whatever. Being a very practical person, I knew that I needed to do something super outstanding to get in. And that's when I actually watched a video, I actually watched a ton of videos by YouTubers, how I got into Harvard videos. One YouTuber said that she wrote a novel, and that's partially why she got in. So I was you know what? I love writing. I always have. That was also a reason why I wanted to become a lawyer, because I loved writing cases and researching and all of that. So I was I actually think I can do this. I actually think I can write a novel. And before any of you are oh, she only wrote it to get into college. No. A book is the kind of thing, I don't think I could have done it if I wasn't passionate about it. Anyways, but still it was for me kind of a 2-in-1 deal, because I was okay, I get to write a book, which has always been on my to-do list for life, and I will get into one of those colleges and become a successful lawyer or whatever. Yeah. So that's the beginning of things. So I started writing my book again. So I picked it up again, like this very same story, and I wrote like, I don't know, another 10 pages, I guess. And any of you guys who have like started writing a novel but never actually written one will know that the first few pages take forever. So you will actually like one page will take you an hour. So 10 pages is like a huge thing. Yeah. And then I just like kept writing, and then I stopped again because I was like, no, studying in the US is too expensive, also like law school. So I quit that dream. And also gave up on my book again because I was like, I'm gonna study in Germany, where I will just get in with my grades. I won't need to like have superb extracurriculars because that doesn't matter in the German college system. Yeah, so I stopped writing it again. And then throughout high school in Germany, so 11th and 12th grade, I kind of noticed that I hate any type of conflict. And then I was like, you know what? I should not be a lawyer. Like, that's so stupid. I still love the whole lawyering thing, like, you know, researching cases and like being a smart ass girl boss and stuff. But I just like, I hate conflict so much. It gives me so much anxiety. And I was like, girl, you cannot do this for a living. That's just mad. Like, no. And then I spent quite a long time thinking about what I want to do. In this phase where I didn't know what to do, I just like randomly picked up my book again and like kept writing. And I loved it. Like, it was just a hobby. It was random. I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna finish this, but like, why not? So I just kept writing page after page, and by that time, I think I already had like 40 pages or something of my book, which again, when you're a beginner amateur writer, that's a lot. Like 40 pages is like so much, so many pages. Yeah. So anyways, and I noticed how much I loved writing. And at the same time, I started reading more and more and more. And I just got so lost in the world of literature. Like, I can't even describe it, how much I loved reading. School for me was secondary. Like, I still wanted my perfect GPA, but that was not something I was looking forward to. I was like, okay, it's just on my checklist. I need a perfect GPA, you know, because I'm crazy. And I just like, I loved the creativity of reading and writing myself. And it was then that I was like, you know what? I could actually do this. I could become a writer for a living. I love reading books. I love writing them myself. Why am I not allowing myself to do what I love for a living? Like, I feel like in society, it's such a big thing to say, you should like your job, but what you love, you should never do for a living because then you'll ruin it. Like, that's how I was raised, at least. So passions should always just be hobbies. But no, I was like, you know what? I'm a girl boss. Like, I'm gonna do this, and I'm not gonna let anyone stop me from doing this. So I seriously began writing my book. I was like, it wasn't just for fun. I was like, I'm serious about this. I'm gonna write a really fucking good book. And I did. Sorry, I'm just gonna be vain here. I think I wrote an amazing book. Like, yeah. Then after that, I started, I don't know, looking into American colleges again because it's just so intriguing. The so like living together in a community and all working together and happy family and everyone's nice and working with world-class professors and liberal arts and all of that. So I began looking into it again, and I was like, I actually would love that. I would love to go to American college, and now that I don't have to go to law school anymore because I don't want to be a lawyer anymore, I could get a full scholarship at a college and not have to pay crazy law school tuition anymore. So I was like, you know, it's realistic again. So I became even more serious about writing this book because I had a deadline. By that time, I was already in 12th grade, And if I wanted to, no, in the beginning of 12th grade. And if I wanted to meet the deadline for, applying to colleges, I would have needed to finish my book, which at that time only had like 80 pages, in like 4 months or something, or 5 months. And I was busy in high school, and I was like, no, this is not realistic. I don't think I can do this. So I just decided, okay, I'm gonna take a gap year after high school, do, whatever occurs to me, travel or whatever, or work, or, and yeah, I'm just gonna like take my time to really write a great book, because that's important to me. You shouldn't force a book, right? Like, it should come naturally. And I didn't want to force it too much, so I decided to do that. So I finished writing my book, and I published it in September. And I did everything. Like, I, of course, wrote the entire thing, which is like obvious, but I also edited the entire thing. And like, I did not know how exhausting editing is, because I read my book after writing it like 6 times. And after those 6 times, I was done reading it. Like, I loved the book, but I was like, oh my God, I can't do it again. I used online tools to like fix all the grammar and writing and orthography and stuff mistakes. Because, girl, if you write like 60,000 words, you're gonna have a ton of mistakes hidden in there. Like, the more you write, the more mistakes you're gonna make. It's inevitable. Like, I'm completely fluent in German, but like, it was inevitable. I designed the cover myself. Yeah, I decided to be a self-published author in the future. And this is also the reason why I started this YouTube channel. So it's kind of like a win-win thing for me. I want to have this YouTube channel to, reach out to people and have people know about me and my writing. So that's kind of where I benefit from it, because I get to sell more books if more people know about my book. But the other, so it's a win-win, is that I want to use my expertise to teach people who also want to be writers just like me and think they can do it, to motivate them to do it, but also to like give them tips and tricks. Yeah, so this is how I wrote my book. Initially, I wanted to write one in English because I always knew that I did not want to keep living in Germany. That's a whole other thing, but yeah. But it was just too hard. Like, I had never written a book before, and writing it in German was hard enough. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna write my first book in German, and then the next ones are gonna be in English. Anyways, yeah, so that's basically the whole story. I'm amazed that we're done with it. This was like such an easy YouTube video to shoot. Yeah, so this is my book. It's my baby. I love it more than the world. And since I wrote it, writing for me has become like beyond easy. I just sit down and I write like page after page. I love it. And I have so many book ideas. I'm gonna be publishing so many books in my life. Anyway, so this is my journey on how I wrote a book in high school. Time management was rough. Like, you guys, I'm not gonna lie to you. I did not have like any free time. I did not have a life. Like, writing a novel and trying to get a perfect GPA, which I like almost did. I have like 1 point less, but it was still like fucking amazing. It was not easy. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was like super ultra burned out, but in the end it was worth it, because I'm gonna be a writer, or I am a writer. It's crazy, I'm a writer. Yeah. Oh my God, I moved the camera. Okay, anyways. Message of this video, you guys can do it. If you want to be a writer, you're gonna be a writer. Like, that's just, like, I want to make this clear. You can be a writer, and you will if you just write your books. It's that easy. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, I know it is. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you like my content, it would be amazing if you subscribe to my channel. Leave a comment. I would love to interact with you guys. And yeah, see you in the next video. Bye. Have a wonderful day. Bye. Mwah.